Kane, how's the feel in the group after what sort of felt like a breakthrough win for you guys?
Yeah, it was obviously good. Yeah, first win, and it was at home, so yeah, it was like you've got to celebrate when you have a win, and yeah, it was a tough win. It probably wasn't. I don't know if it was pretty to watch, but we didn't score any tries, but that was good defence, and Jono kept slotting them, so it was yeah, it was just awesome to and it was a good crowd as well. Like I felt like everyone was pretty happy with how we went. From the supporters, they were all pretty good after the game. So
How important is getting that sort of? There's a lot of talk about the cultural change in the off-season stuff like that. How important is getting the validation of the win against a good side like the Brumbies to sort of show that you're on the right path?
I think when you're like, yeah, there might have been stuff about a cultural change, but like when you're in it, you're not like, it doesn't really feel like a change. You know what I mean? It's like it feels like a good culture, but we're in it, so we're not like everyone's just working hard and putting the hard yards in. It's just good. Yeah, probably good to get a result after. Like I know all the other teams are working hard, but like when you personally work hard and then you get a win, it's a good feeling. So yeah, we just got to keep building, try and be consistent, and get another win. So
The scrum was arguably the star of the show. Is that how sort of pleasing is that to see? To get rewards for your hard work on the training track in having such a dominant set piece.
yeah, it was good. It was like we've been through footage this morning, and it wasn't all perfect. Like there's still a lot to work on in scrums and lineouts. So yeah, like it was good, and we can take got some good things out of it. But we gotta. That's what happens next week. It's sort of what you just got to keep going. Like there's still a fair few more games this year, and yeah, we're pleased with sort of how we're going, but teams will look at us. Teams will come up with a new plan to, yeah, especially the scrum. The scrum felt pretty good, and we got some good pay at the end. But yeah, it's about what happens next.
What's Thorny like on the Monday morning after a win? He seemed in the press conference to be very keen to keep a lid on it. Like as happy as he was certainly not getting carried away.
Yeah, well, no, that's sort of what we're about. Like we're not going to chahoo and pump our own tyres up. Like we know it's a long season and it's only one win. There's plenty to work on. There's Thorny. Yeah, as much as everyone's sort of happy, like it's always better after a win. But yeah, like we went through, like the forwards are still in there for an hour and a bit went through every line out and every scrum to see how we can improve. So. And I think even Thorny ran the weight sessions this morning, so he's pretty pumped to get the boys back into training routine and back in for another week.
Yeah, we hear the Brad Thorne Monday gym session is an absolute punish.
Yeah, and I think he ran like the abs and everything. Like it's normally sort of in your own time, but it was in Brad's time today. So it was, yeah.
Kane, you mentioned there that you've got to celebrate a win. How do 19, 20 and 21-year-olds celebrate wins?
Well, I was only in there in the shed after the game. I had some relos up, so I went home. But yeah, I think the same as everyone. They are some young guys, but they're pretty mature young guys. They're there's a heap of them. Like at the start of pre-season, I felt pretty old. There's got a couple new additions that sort of took the average age up with Aiden and Jono and that coming on board, and Benny Lucas. But yeah, it is a very young team, and it's just good to see. Like they all went real well. Tatey had another good one off the bench. It's good to see Scotty Angus Scott Young have a game, and Hocko was really good too. So. Yeah, it's just good to see. Like there's still a heap of young guys waiting in the wings for another crack. So, or for their first game. So, yeah, it's pleasing to see that their hard yards are getting them somewhere. Yeah.
When you talk of young guys there, Harry Hawkins plays in your position at lock. What do you like about Harry as a 19-year-old? And yeah, just some reflections being a lock yourself and being at that age once yourself.
Yeah, he doesn't really seem nervous. Like I think every sort of situation sort of been put in front of him, he's taking it with both hands. Like even watching the tens and stuff, taking a few kickoffs. He's he's pretty good. Like he's a good player. He's going to be great in the future. I'd say he's got a big future ahead of him. So yeah, it's obviously it's good to have depth and good to have. Oh, there's even Blythy's sitting there, hasn't had a game yet. So yeah, there's plenty of locks, and yeah, it's good. It's good to have competition.
How does that make you feel, mate? Like last year, Lucan and Isaac sort of came out of nowhere. And it seems like there's another few blokes here who could potentially do that.
Yeah.
As an established lock, couldn't be kept on your toes anymore in that respect, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's good. It's like I probably haven't been happy with how I've been playing the last couple of seasons, and like I was pleased with a few things, and there was probably less things that I was angry about after my game on the weekend. But yeah, I just got to keep pushing myself, and yeah, it's good to have competition, and you're at training. It's going to make lineouts better with better defence at training and stuff like that. So it's yeah, it's great to have them guys around.
You had a good one against the Rebels in the first game in an odd game. On Vince's point there, have you done any work particularly in certain areas during the off season to make sure that you keep relevant, get in the starting team?
There's probably hasn't been one thing that I've gone and done extra. I think it's been a good pre-season with Brad putting us through like a lot. We did lineouts sort of 4 days a week there during pre-season, and things like that. Just that repetition of trying to get clean ball to the halfback and things like that has been really good. And yeah, like it was still not perfect on the weekend, but it's just good to see that the things you have worked on have improved or we're getting results with. But yeah, I don't know. I've just got to keep pushing myself. I know I can do it. I probably just I haven't been pleased how I've been going the last couple of years, and but yeah, I still have the belief in myself and what's going on here at the Reds.
I quite easily forget that you played in a World Cup final sometimes. Like, is that the next big sort of ticket item on your agenda is to break back into that, because it's a big sort of 18 months coming up in that respect? Yeah,
I'd love to. I'm just sort of taking it week by week, but I've just got to keep training hard, keep playing hard, and we'll see what happens. But I'm not getting carried away or looking too far ahead into the future. But yeah, it'd be great to play for the Wallabies again. But we'll see what happens.
Kane, with the Bulls, they're always exactly the same, like a big physical side, and the forwards have to measure up. So how do you think a bunch of young kids will measure up against the Bulls?
Yeah, well, yeah, all them South African teams are always pretty big, and the Bulls especially. But yeah, we probably haven't finished doing our preview. Sort of, we'll watch some footage today and a fair bit tomorrow with the preview. But there are, yeah, you know, it's pretty much every week we say though in the forwards, we always say to ourselves it's going to be won or lost in the forwards, and we know if we don't do our job, then it's probably going to be a hard night. So yeah, especially against big South African teams, you've got to be ready for them and pay them the respect they need, but yeah, we'll sort of worry about ourselves to a degree. But yeah, it's always a big one.
And I mean, they got some exceptionally good locks like Lou Diego and guys like that.
Yeah,
you've got a fair regard for a player like him.
Yeah, definitely. I've played against him a fair few times. Just yeah, their whole pack's normally pretty big, and you don't want to get them. You don't want to let them get a roll on. Like you sort of need to stop them in their tracks. But they, yeah, Lude's obviously played a fair few Springbok games, and he's a great player. But yeah, we'll do our preview the next sort of the rest of today and tomorrow.
Sorry, mate. Thanks, sir.
Appreciate it, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, easy.
Starting for the Super W to start, but even more so to be at a venue like Suncorp.
Yeah, it will be special Saturday coming up. I think just following on as well from the 10s, like the girls are got a bit of excitement out of playing in front of crowds like that and playing at Suncorp, so that opportunity in itself will be quite good.
You expecting all family and friends to be there nice and early for the no excuses not to be there?
Yeah, 100%. So I think they would anyway. And then hopefully we'll get a few extras in there as well.
What's it been like? As you say, the 10s was a bit of a breakthrough moment. Like New South Wales and Sydney really dominated the women's landscape for a while. So has there been an extra belief in the group now that you were able to get over the hump and beat them?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a different game to 15. So, but in terms of confidence, I think it was something that we did really need just to kick us off. It's always different going into each season with a new team. So that was a good place for us to start, I think.
You like the double header model, because it seems to be like a way that a lot of women's sports are trying to get their foot in the door, and that you play before the men at the same stadium and it's on TV as well. Yeah,
I think that's an awesome way for it to be set up, and it encourages people to watch both if they're going to be there anyway, and it sort of followed on from 10s when they had the women play before the men's final. It's similar structure. I think it does wonders for us.
How are you guys feeling about? I think there was I don't know if you call it controversy, but when the comp was first started and the pay structure was criticised a little bit, a week out from the first game, how do you feel about that? Are you just happy to have a comp at all, or what's the mindset on that front? Yeah, I think the girls have never played for money. It's not really been something that we factor into our game. It's not. It's sort of not been included, but definitely this year I think there's going to be match day payments. They've already talked about for Wallaroos, so for test matches and that if you make the Australian side. So it's moving forward, and I think that's what we have to remember, just continue playing our game. It is getting better. You can tell the fact that we're playing at Suncorp with men, it's developing. So, do you think the product is going to be good enough to take it forward to the point where you will get paid the way you would like to? Like, do you think people are going to see it and go, right, that's something we want to sponsor or keep watching?
Yeah, I think so eventually. Like, I probably can't give you a time frame for that, but I think that's the way it's moving. You only have to look at the feedback and the response from, again, the 10s, like how much excitement was involved with that, and even look at programs like the Sevens program with the women's, like in terms of women in sport and the quality of it. I guess if you put it next to the men's, it is getting better.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Thank you so much.
Easy.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay. So just try to drop it. Okay, if you just want to chuck that other hand on your hip, just sort of lean forward a little bit, almost like leaning into the shot. 2, 1.
Don't put that.
Oh, that's too good. You can. There's every hour we can. Can I put it in?
You like? Doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Now I work at Sunnybank Rugby Club. My background's in graphic design. The club's helped me out.
Tell them you can get a plane story.
Okay.